The internet broke when photos surfaced of Romeo Beckham, son of football legend David Beckham and fashion icon Victoria Beckham, casually sitting in economy class on a Ryanair flight like any ordinary traveler. And what you're about to discover will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about celebrity wealth and the shocking reality behind the Beckham family's approach to money that has left fans divided and critics stunned. There he was, the 22-year-old who grew up surrounded by unimaginable luxury, settling into seat 12B with nothing but a backpack, no entourage, no special treatment, just Romeo Beckham flying budget like the rest of us mere mortals, and eagle-eyed passengers couldn't believe their eyes as they watched this surreal scene unfold at 30,000 feet above Europe. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. Sources close to the Beckham family reveal that this wasn't Romeo's first budget flight, and apparently David and Victoria have been quietly implementing what insiders are calling reality checks for their children, forcing them to experience life the way most people do. But the timing of this particular flight raises eyebrows because it comes just weeks after Romeo's younger brother Cruz was spotted flying private to Miami for a music video shoot, creating a stark contrast that has people questioning everything they thought they knew about how the Beckham children are raised. The plot thickens when you realize Romeo wasn't traveling to Barcelona for some luxury vacation or high-end photo shoot, but to meet with a relatively unknown Spanish football club about a potential contract, a move that suggests his football career might not be going as smoothly as the family would have us believe. And industry insiders are whispering that Romeo's recent struggles to break into professional football have led to some uncomfortable conversations within the Beckham household about earning his way rather than relying on daddy's connections. What makes this story explosive is the reaction from fellow passengers, with one traveler revealing that Romeo was incredibly polite, helped an elderly lady with her luggage, and even switched seats so a family could sit together. Behavior that seems, well, almost too perfect to be coincidental, leading some critics to suggest this entire scenario was orchestrated as a masterful damage control exercise following recent negative publicity about the family's excessive spending habits and tone-deaf social media posts during times of economic hardship. The deeper you dig into this rabbit hole, the more shocking it becomes, because financial experts have secretly analyzed the Beckham family's recent investments and discovered some jaw-dropping truths about their actual wealth versus their carefully projected image. While they're undoubtedly rich, they're apparently not as liquid as many assume, with most of their fortune tied up in properties, business ventures, and brand deals that require careful management. Which might explain why Romeo's parents are suddenly pushing him toward financial independence rather than continuing to fund his lifestyle indefinitely. But wait, because this story gets more scandalous. Victoria Beckham's recent fashion label struggles have been well documented behind closed doors, with reports suggesting the company has been hemorrhaging money for years and only stays afloat through David's investments and licensing deals. This creates a family dynamic where apparently every pound matters more than their glossy public image suggests, and Romeo's budget flight might actually be a direct reflection of strict new family financial rules rather than some publicity stunt. So the most shocking revelation actually comes from a former family friend, who claimed David Beckham has always been way more frugal than people realize. Apparently, he often shops at regular supermarkets like Tesco, and even drives himself to appointments instead of using chauffeurs. These habits, really stem from his working-class Manchester upbringing and his determination not to spoil his children the way so many celebrity parents do. But well, this same source suggests Victoria has been far less enthusiastic about these so-called character-building exercises. This has apparently led to some pretty tense arguments within the marriage about how to properly handle their children's upbringing without, destroying their work ethic. Social media honestly just exploded with reactions. People ranged from genuine praise for the family's apparent humility to, well, some pretty cynical criticism suggesting the whole thing was staged. Some users even pointed out that Romeo's budget flight still cost more than many people actually earn in an entire week. On the other hand, others passionately defended him for making a real effort to live like a regular person, despite his privileged background. And this whole debate has sort of become a cultural touchstone for discussions about wealth inequality and celebrity responsibility in our modern society. The story, takes another dramatic turn when you learn that Romeo's football career has actually been struggling more than anyone publicly knew. Apparently, multiple clubs have reportedly been uninterested in signing him, despite his world-famous surname. This has led to speculation that his parents have given him a pretty brutal ultimatum about proving himself independently or facing reduced financial support. That would explain not only the budget flight, but also his recent moves to less prestigious clubs and his willingness to rough it like any other aspiring footballer. Fashion industry insiders revealed another twist. Romeo has been quietly developing his own clothing line, but unlike typical celebrity fashion ventures backed by massive family investments, his project is being funded entirely through his personal savings and small business loans. This suggests a level of genuine financial independence that really contradicts his privileged image, and honestly, it adds another fascinating layer to the whole budget flight story. The most dramatic twist comes from leaked airport security footage that allegedly shows Romeo initially heading confidently toward the first-class check-in counter before stopping, looking around, and turning back to join the economy line instead. It's a pivotal moment that has been obsessively analyzed by internet detectives, all trying to determine whether this was a genuine last-minute decision, a publicity stunt, or maybe even evidence of a real internal struggle between his privileged upbringing and his desire for independence. What really has the entire world talking is how this seemingly simple incident reflects massive changes happening in celebrity culture right now. Younger stars are increasingly rejecting ostentatious displays of wealth, instead embracing relatability and authenticity as valuable currencies in our social media-dominated age. But fierce critics argue that true authenticity cannot be manufactured through strategic budget flights when you still return home every night to a multi-million-pound mansion. The conversation reached fever pitch when other celebrity children began sharing their own normal person experiences across social media, creating what industry experts call the Romeo effect. That's a trend where privileged young people, attempt to demonstrate their down-to-earth nature through calculated displays of modest living. But honestly, the authenticity of these gestures remains debated among millions of fans and critics. Perhaps the most telling aspect of this saga is Romeo's complete silence on social media about the incident. He's refusing to address the speculation or capitalize on the massive attention in any way, which either demonstrates maturity and a genuine desire for privacy, or, suggests an incredibly sophisticated PR strategy designed to let the story generate maximum impact through mystery, rather than direct engagement. As this story continues developing at breakneck speed, shocking new details emerge almost daily, from fellow passengers sharing more intimate interactions with Romeo, to airline staff revealing behind-the-scenes moments, and each new piece of information either strongly supports the narrative of genuine humility, or feeds suspicions about calculated image management, keeping the internet divided and engaged in ways very few celebrity stories manage to achieve. What do you think? Was Romeo Beckham's budget flight a genuinely authentic moment of down-to-earth behavior, a brilliantly executed strategic PR move, or something else entirely? And really, does it matter if the ultimate result encourages important conversations about privilege and relatability in our celebrity-obsessed culture? Drop your most honest thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you believe celebrities should live more like regular people. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because this story is far from over. When more shocking details emerge about the Beckham family's real financial situation and their controversial parenting strategies, you'll definitely want to be the first to know.